Morning. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm Chapin Rose, State Senator, 51st District, fighting 51st, as I like to say, and I'm the lead budget negotiator for the Senate Republicans. We're here today to talk a little bit about our caucus's budget priorities as we move into tomorrow's governor's budget address, and then as the budget process really kicks into overdrive from there. We've been clear that Senate Republicans want to make Illinois a safer, more affordable place to live and work for our families. We want to prioritize relief for families struggling to make ends meet, for seniors looking to retire, for young people, young couples looking to buy their first home and plant roots here in Illinois. We want to prioritize our law enforcement, local communities, and schools they protect. We want to prioritize all Illinois citizens, including, I might add, the developmentally disabled, children suffering on the state's care, and working families. However, 6 years of Governor Pritzker's budgets have shown and proven that prioritizing Illinois citizens is not a shared priority. And in fact, out-of-control spending is now imperiling that with the deficits, which I'll get to in a minute. While tax-paying Illinoisans are struggling to afford basic needs, Governor Pritzker has increased spending on non-citizens. He took over as a few million a year. It's now over $1 billion. And then the last week he's projected, almost another $200 million next year's budget on top of that. He's rolled out the welcome wagon, quote, the most welcoming state in the nation, end quote. Others would call them sanctuary states, creating a humanitarian crisis and financial crisis in this state of epic proportion to the point where we are going to be shortly at the breaking point. The federal dollars that Governor Pritzker has heretofore relied on to finance his ever-increasing spending are drying up. His own budget team, as I mentioned, is now projecting almost $1 billion deficit, and then that was before he announced even more spending last week on the migrant crisis. He's admitted that he will need more taxpayer money to fund his migrant crisis and get us through just this current fiscal year, let alone next fiscal year. Passing the largest budget in state history wasn't enough to fund this crisis that lands at his doorstep. This is even more concerning, of course, because due to recent policy changes and the use of executive orders, we really have no idea how much he has spent on the migrant crisis. The lack of transparency is at epic proportions as well. I've been around for a while. I've seen a lot of budgets. I've seen a lot of governors come and go. I have never seen anything with just so much basic lack of transparency that the accountants, we can't figure out where the money's going, how it's being spent. We can even tell the taxpayers how much of their money is being spent on this. These are huge problems. I can't tell you, how do you begin to craft any budget deficit if you don't know where the money's going and how much is being spent in this category that's literally in 2 years and a day gone from almost zero to over $1 billion? How do you do a budget with that?